Hey guys, so as we've been doing the videos the last couple months, these videos where I'm just talking to the camera without a whole lot of B-roll have really been getting a lot of good comments. So I wanted to do a few more to see if we could have these conversations that we typically have with athletes here in the gym with you guys, and if you can benefit from it. So today, what I want to talk about is the process of learning the lifts and some of the barriers that can get in our way that we need to find and do some self-reflection to see if we're guilty of any of these, to see if we can adjust the way our view of things that will make it to where we're able to learn a little bit more when we come in to look at technique work in the Olympic lifts. So the ego is big. You know, we always laugh, we always joke that weightlifting is humbling, right? And it absolutely is. And if you have a big ego, you're probably not going to last long when you're set to learn. But what does that mean? Let's go through 4 key things that really highlight how the ego can get in the way when it comes to learning. Number 1 is the inability to be wrong. And this isn't a cognitive thought. I don't think someone who has this realizes that they're battling not being wrong. But one example of it is imagine a coach comes up to you, tells you what happened or gives you a cue, and you immediately find yourself explaining what happened. It doesn't matter most often. Most often it just doesn't matter, right? When we start justifying, when we start explaining and trying to justify our actions, typically that's a sign of that inability to be wrong. But when you're learning, when you're in that beginner state, you're always wrong because you don't know. So come in with an open mind and know that it doesn't reflect poorly on you to have messed up, to not have lifted well on that last lift, to made a mistake. You're learning. Okay. Number 2 is the inability to leave the past perspective behind. And this you see for athletes who have done strength training somewhere in the past, right? And this strength training, what they've learned and how they've thought about lifting could have been different than what they're now being presented. And they're having a difficult time leaving that perspective in the past. By leaving it in the past, it doesn't mean that you're just completely going to ignore it, but you have to let it go if you're going to be able to see a new perspective, to learn a new perspective. And you can always reflect back and compare the perspectives and go through that. But if you can never get over that it's different than what you've learned in the past, then you're probably not going to learn what the coach or whoever is teaching you is trying to share. So, reflection on that and looking at that could really help. Another one, shying away from drills that humble you. You see this a lot. No one likes to look stupid, whether it's coming off the boxes or whatever drill it might be. It feels weird. You're not quite sure where to be. You feel stupid. You slow down. You're all over the place, and it doesn't look like other people are struggling as much. That's common. Again, you're learning. Right? And if you're in a good environment with a good coach and good people around you, no one's going to laugh at you as you fail in a drill or you look, silly in a drill because they've all looked stupid in something as well. Because all beginners do. That's how you learn. You learn by doing it wrong, and you learn by going through that and failing until you start to understand what you're feeling, how you're moving, and getting that rolling. I hope you can catch yourself in that one. And then finally, it kind of plays off of what we just talked about, but concerned with how you look in relation to the people in the room, right? If you are so outside of your body that you're aware of what everyone else in the room's doing, whether they're looking at you, how they're looking and all of that, then again, that ego has you, right? You need to focus on yourself, your lifts, your bar. You need to accept that you're not going to move as well as the individuals that have been there for a few years are going to move, and that's okay. You have to accept that things are going to be rough until they're not. So I hope some of these points, my goal of this video was just to name off some examples and let you reflect. Have you caught yourself doing this? Because the thing is, We've been guilty, everyone's been guilty of all four. No one walks into something new without the ego sticking its head in somewhere. It's just, are you aware of it? Can you catch yourself doing it? And can you let yourself let the ego go, come in with that beginner's mind? Because if you do, you're gonna learn faster. You're gonna reach where you wanna go faster. And that's the whole point. And for some of you out there who don't let this go, who wanna avoid this, you're probably never going to reach where you wanna be truly. And even if you do, know that you left some kilos, some goals, whatever it is, off the bar because you never truly opened up to learn. So hope it helps, guys, and till the next one.